themselves, how much effort do they want to put into fighting a plant that's nearly impossible to get rid of?
Support for this podcast comes from the Neubauer Family Foundation, supporting WH1Y's Fresh Air and its commitment to sharing ideas and encouraging meaningful conversation. This is Fresh Air. I'm Terry Gross. The other day, I was reading an article in the Washington Post about the blast effect of bullets from the assault weapon, the AR-15, and how those bullets blow the body apart. When I finished reading the article, a message popped up saying, "You've been on this page for 8 minutes and 14 seconds. It took 11 minutes for the shooter to kill 60 people and injure 869. This is Fresh Air. I'm Terry Gross. Our guest today is best-selling author and New Yorker magazine staff writer David Grann. Grann has a knack for finding little-known stories from history and turning them into books that are page-turners. His new nonfiction book is no exception. It's about a shipwreck and mutiny in the 1700s. Martin Scorsese already has plans to adapt it into a film. Scorsese already adapted Grann's book Killers of the Flower Moon into a film that will be released later this year. An earlier Grann book, The Lost City of Z, was also adapted into a film. Our producer Sam Brigger spoke with David Grann yesterday.
At the bottom of the world, below the tip of South America, the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans converge. In the mid-18th century, a squadron of British warships made the journey through the passage in the worst weather imaginable, suffering terrible damage to their ships. One man of war called a major went missing and wrecked upon the rocks of the desolate island of Panama. At first, the castaways maintained the naval laws and discipline of the British Empire under their captain, but that unraveled under the hardships they endured, including poor shelter, punishing weather, and starvation. There was
Trabajamos. Vamos a salir, pero estamos ahí.
Starts a movement. Take a listen.
If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridicule, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry.
See, that's the thing. A movement, one. A movement of two. A movement of five. A movement leads to momentum. Momentum leads to numbers. Numbers lead to majorities. Majorities lead to minorities. Minorities don't want to feel left out being a minority, so they join the minorities. Natural human psychology and sociology is very simple. No one wants to be perceived to be the Lone Ranger out there. This isn't a comic book. This is real. So companies are afraid to stand up and say something. Well, there's an LGBT group out there saying my CEI score isn't high enough, and I've got to run some ads celebrating LGBTQIA issues. And if I don't do it and celebrate it, so let's go hire Dylan Mulvaney. Well, what happened again? People stood up. And now you're seeing momentum. You know, the patience part, I want to re-emphasize. You've got to be patient. This culture war is a long time coming. A long time coming. It's going to change slowly. But ladies and gentlemen, nobody wants to be in the minority of a movement, or else you look and you're like, gosh, why are all these people against me? You start to question yourself. Like, my gosh, am I wrong? Have I evaluated the circumstances around this particular issue in the wrong way? You start to question yourself, and uncertainty is a demon in that scenario. Oh, yeah, big. Am I? People start to question themselves. But you don't question yourself when you see 51% of people out there. And that has been the danger of social media. Social media has led to a lot of really positive outcomes. A lot. Information exchange is fast. Movements on our end can move faster because the information exchange, you used to have that thunderclap thing, be able to thunderclap a tweet around the internet. Social media's got a lot of benefits, but one of the downsides of it is it magnified one of Alinsky's rules, which is it's not what you have, it's what your enemy thinks you have. And the problem, how that's related to this video and how we're in this cultural shift now, is that the left, the radical left, the left that believes drag queens should be able to shake their junk in front of your kid's face when they're 6 and 7 years old, that is a ridiculously small portion of America. Now you're hearing this probably thinking, no, everybody's for that. I mean, we've heard it. No, believe me, they're not. It is a sliver of America. But they are very loud, very local, very vocal, and they are on these social media platforms where you're seeing the perceptions, Tina, again, of authenticity behind what really is an astroturf effort. We're believers, but most of it's astro. People just playing along. The only way to break that routine of authenticity, crack the wall, break it up, is to get out and break out of the social media system into the real world and stuff. Like this. This is the Egger Watch Company. I've never heard of it. They ran this ad. This is a real ad. It's what happened. And it goes to show you. You're all going to hear about this for the first time in this company. About many of you. What you can do, and how you can start a momentum and start a movement, and switch the minority to the majority. Not because the minority has ever been a minority. The minority was the majority. But you can see when you watch a spot like this by the number of views. And gosh, we've been the majority the whole time. They're the crazy people on the other side. Listen to this ad from this watch company. Tell me the culture isn't shit. Check this
When I was a little girl, I had this dream that seemed so amazing. I was going to be the fastest one. I got this little nugget of an idea from my dad. He used to watch me run and say, "Ain't no woman alive that can beat you." And I believed him. He made me feel invincible.
Dale, Pau, me alegro mucho, la veo re bien a...
I trained hard, harder than anyone else I know. But I was made for this. I was an unstoppable force. A life dedicated to perfection.